Hey there, Civil Pro students. This video is a short introduction to the concept of asserting personal jurisdiction over a defendant on the theory of minimum contacts. Let's start with a hypothetical situation. Two drivers have a collision while they are traveling on a street or highway in California. The driver of the blue car, a resident of California, believes the driver of the red car was at fault, and she wishes to sue him. However, the driver of the red car lives in New York and was only visiting California on a vacation. Unless she can establish personal jurisdiction over the driver of the red car in California, her only option will be to file suit against him in New York. A person is subject to in personam or personal jurisdiction on any of the following theories: presence, domicile, consent, or minimum contacts. The only way she could establish personal jurisdiction on the theory of presence is if the New Yorker returned to California and she was able to have him served with a copy of the summons and complaint while in California. He is not a resident of California, so domicile cannot be the basis of personal jurisdiction. And for purposes of this hypo, we will assume that California does not have an implied consent statute for out-of-state motorists, and that the New Yorker is not willing to consent to personal jurisdiction. The only remaining basis to assert personal jurisdiction would be under the theory of minimum contacts. In the landmark case of International Shoe v. Washington, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that personal jurisdiction may be asserted over an absentee defendant, whose minimum contacts with the state are such that compelling the defendant to appear and defend does not offend traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. Every minimum contacts analysis begins with two questions. 1. Were the defendant's activities in the forum state continuous and systematic, or only sporadic or casual? 2. Is the cause of action sued upon related or unrelated to the defendant's conduct in the forum state? Based on the hypo, the defendant's activity in the forum state consisted of a single isolated act, operating a vehicle on a California street or highway. Here, the claim or cause of action sued upon arose out of that single isolated act of driving on a California street or highway. International Shoe established 4 principles. 1. Defendants will always be subject to personal jurisdiction when their activity in the forum state is continuous and systematic, and the cause of action is related to that activity. 2. Sporadic or casual activity does not justify the assertion of personal jurisdiction on claims that are unrelated to that activity. 3. Jurisdiction may be asserted for unrelated continuous activities when the contacts are of such a nature as to make the assertion of personal jurisdiction reasonable. This is referred to as general jurisdiction. 4. Jurisdiction may always be exercised when the cause of action sued upon arises out of defendant's activity or act in the forum state. This is referred to as specific jurisdiction. Here, the New Yorker's activity in California has not been continuous and systematic, but the California driver's claim against the New Yorker did arise out of the New Yorker's single isolated contact with California. Therefore, it falls into Category 4. For that reason, the New Yorker will be subject to personal jurisdiction in California and will have to appear and defend against the lawsuit in California. For more explanations and tutorials on the rules and principles of civil procedure, go to lawschoolhelp.com/civilpro. See you next time.